Good afternoon. This is just going to be a very brief update on something that's going on at the moment in Ukraine, in the area, the Orkiv region, in Zaporizhia, around the Robotnye, or Robotyne. This has been a township which the Ukrainians have been approaching and attempting to breach for some time now. However, in the last couple of days, we've seen a tactical change here, which is having some success for the Ukrainians, but maybe a very risky move. What the Ukrainians appear to be doing here is bypassing Robotnye itself and instead looking to advance to from the east of Robotnye, heading south. Effectively looking to bypass the direct combat and attempting to take Robotnye and instead move south towards a settlement of Novoprokopivka. Novoprokopivka. If the Ukrainians were to reach here, they would then be only 20 kilometers away from Tokmack. Now, Tokmack is the major settlement which the Ukrainians would be looking to take control over on their advance towards the Azov Sea. So, as I've said, though, this is risky. What this appears to be doing is it is an advance. They are claiming territory in this move south down the eastern flank of Robotnye. Unfortunately, what is going to happen here, or is likely to happen here, is that the Ukrainian forces will find themselves isolated and surrounded. If you imagine a picture of a worm or a beetle burrowing into wood, it's advancing, it's certainly moving forward, and it can move forward at quite a good pace, but it becomes surrounded on all sides as it moves down. This isn't a movement where the entire front line is moving down in one group. This is one hole being bored down, punched down. Now, if there is a large amount of Ukrainian reinforcements and heavy armored equipment that can follow, they could perhaps keep this pathway open. However, in the last 2 days, we have seen some quite staggering video footage from this area where we saw a bunch of 6 or 8 pieces of Ukrainian armoured equipment get themselves into an ambush. They had advanced down to where Russian positions were. I'm not quite sure of the strategy or logic that was being used here. They approached on a roadway where they perhaps didn't realise that the Russians were on both sides of this pathway. As they got there, they were effectively ambushed from both sides, and there's video footage showing them taking heavy losses. These vehicles from anti-tank guided missiles being shot from trenches. There would have been heavy losses for the Ukrainians in terms of men and equipment in that. So, yes, there is a push being made down towards the east of Robotnye. How long this can be sustained is the question. If there is, a large force that can come down and strengthen the flanks down that bore tube, if you will, and provide support and keep a corridor open to reinforce, then yes, in theory, they could bypass Robotnye and get to Novoprokopivka. However, if the Ukrainian forces make it there, their end goal is the Sea of Azov, and on the way it would be to take Tokmack and then Melitopol and then get to the sea. Now, from Novoprokopivka, there is 20 kilometers beyond there to get to Tokmack. From Tokmack, it's another 45 kilometers to Melitopol. And from Melitopol, it's another 40 kilometers to the coast, to the Sea of Azov. So it's a 100-kilometer trek that they need to get down. And I see this as being a panicked move. Yes, the Ukrainians may be able to sustain for a day or so this deep this deep dive into Russian territory. But my fear is that if they do that, they will then be surrounded and cut off. I may be wrong. There may be a large force amassed behind them which will be able to push down, follow them down and support them, and they will go further. But at this stage, this looks like a very risky move being undertaken by the Ukrainians. Look, I hope to have another update on the rest of the battlefront later today. Anyhow, I'll talk to you later on.